what I like to say to this is we all are on a spectrum of trauma, trauma and pain and shame. We all have our spectrum. Some of us have more tolerance for what we can deal with. Some of us are more, sensitive. But what I will say for every single person, regardless if their trauma threshold is so low and their pain and whatever they've been through, it's always going to be a journey throughout life. I never feel like there's an end destination point. Yes, you become more and more and more and more and more magnetic over time, and it becomes very quick and effortless, when you commit to the process. But it's always going to be an onion layer peel, unless you're like isolated in the woods, and who knows if that even really works, because you're not, constantly up against your mirrors and triggers to help you peel that quicker. So the biggest thing I just want to say is go at your pace. Listen to yourself. You're not alone. It's not hopeless. And in fact, even doing just the smallest amount of work or the smallest action to step into your worth and power by saying no and no longer settling is already creating magnetism. So don't look at it as like a macro whole, and just focus on one day at a time of really like, what do I need to do today? And the work will call you. So even if it's just a daily reprogramming exercise where you get to peel that onion layer a little bit more, look at yourself a little bit more, just think of, 3 months of doing the DRE, you'll have peeled so much. You'll have unblocked so much. So rather than looking at it as like a hole and you're broken and you have so much more than the other person, I would actually look at it micro of what you can do right now today in the particular circumstance you're in, or the trigger or the test you're faced with, or the thing you're calling in, and stop looking at it as this massive, giant, journey, because it's just going to become an ebb and flow over time that you start to master and become very magnetic and manifest very quickly and easily. I was just talking to my friend Amanda Blair, who was one of my first clients, and we were sitting down here at the retreat house chatting, and she's like, I don't even write lists anymore. The moment I say it or I think it starts to come through. And that's kind of what The Secret and all of those things teach, but you have to get to such a point of seeing as believing. And for her, she's only been doing this work for 2.5, 3 years. So it's not like this crazy journey. And trust me, she comes from a lot of trauma. I come from trauma. So, and I'm very magnetic. And for me, I'm the same way. I write lists just when I feel like I want to get down to clarity, but I don't really need to do those things anymore. So I just want to expand you in that it's always going to be a journey in life. It's a really fun one, but look at the micro, focus on today, one day at a time, and you're totally not too broken and fucked up for this to work by any means.